Imagine this. A pitch-black night over Syria in 2018. Russian S-400 radars, the deadliest air defense system on the planet, lock onto a faint blip. Alarms scream in the command center. Missiles are armed and ready to fire. But in seconds the target vanishes. No crash, no explosion. Just eerie silence. How did the F-35 Lightning E, America's ultimate stealth fighter, outsmart one of Russia's most feared weapons? This is the untold story of the Syria striker mission that proved stealth isn't just technology. It has the future of warfare. Stay tuned to uncover how one jet changed the rules of the sky forever. Let us dive deeper into the chaotic backdrop of this incredible event. It has the spring of 2018, and the Syrian civil war has been grinding on for 7 brutal years. What started as peaceful protests in 2011 has escalated into a full-scale international proxy war, drawing in superpowers like Russia, the United States, Iran, and Turkey. At the heart of the tension for Israel is Iran's growing presence in Syria. Tehran is using the country as a staging ground to arm Hezbollah in Lebanon and build missile factories right on Israel's northern border. Israeli intelligence estimates that Iran has shipped thousands of precision-guided munitions through Syria, posing an existential threat. Israel's response: a covert campaign called Operation House of Cards, aimed at dismantling Iranian infrastructure without triggering a wider war. But here's the catch. Syria's airspace is a fortress. Russia, backing President Bashar al-Assad, has deployed its advanced S-400 Triumph systems. NATO calls it SA-21 Growler. These aren't outdated relics. They're cutting edge. Each battery includes long-range radars that can detect stealth aircraft at reduced distances, command vehicles, and missiles like the 40 and 6, which reach 400 kilometers and fly at Mach 6 times the speed of sound. Russia stationed them in Latakia and other coastal areas after Turkey shot down a Russian jet in 2015, turning Syrian skies into a no-fly zone for anyone without permission. For Israel, this meant traditional fighters like F-16s were sitting ducks. Enter the F-35 Lightning E. Israel became the first nation outside the US to declare its F-35 Iadius squadron operational in December 2017. But under a $20 billion deal, these jets were customized with Israeli avionics and weapons. The Adir Hebrew for mighty wasn't just a purchase, it was a strategic game-changer. As tensions boiled over in May 2018, with Iran firing rockets at the Golan Heights, Israel retaliated with over 70 airstrikes. But the real breakthrough, the F-35's debut in combat, slipping through the S-400 net like a shadow. This wasn't random luck. It was the culmination of years of planning. Israeli pilots trained in Nevada with US forces, simulating S-400 scenarios. The stakes were sky-high. One downed F-35 could expose stealth secrets and embolden adversaries. Yet, on May 22, the jets took off, heading into the lioness den. What made this possible? Let us break down the tech that turned invisibility into reality. To understand how the F-35 pulled off this feat, we need to peel back the layers of its stealth technology, a blend of physics, engineering, and sheer ingenuity. The F-35 Lightning E is the pinnacle of 5th-generation fighters, born from the Joint Strike Fighter program in the 1990s. Costing over $1.7 trillion overall, it is designed for air superiority, ground attack, and reconnaissance. But its superpower, low observability, or stealth. Stealth isn't about being completely invisible. It is about delaying detection long enough to strike and escape. The F-35's shape is key. Faceted angles deflect radar waves away from the source. Unlike rounded jets that bounce them back, materials like radar-absorbent composite secret formulas of carbon and polymers absorb up to 99% of radar energy, converting it to heat. Internal bays hide weapons. No external pylons to create radar echoes. Even the engines are shielded to minimize infrared signatures. Now, Against the S-400, this Russian system uses multiple radars. The 91 and 6E Big Bird for long-range search up to 600 km, and the 92 and 6E Gravestone for fire control. It excels at low-band frequencies VF, that can spot stealth at farther ranges than X-band. But the F-35 counters with its APG-81 ASA radar, an active array that scans electronically without moving, reducing emissions, paired with the S-239 Barracuda U suite. It gems, spoofs, and deceives. For instance, it can create ghost targets or alter its own signature to look like a bird or civilian plane. In the Syria context, Israel's F-35I adds extras. Indigenous helmet-mounted displays for 360-degree awareness and C4I systems for real-time data sharing with ground command. During the strike, as S-400 radars swept, the F-35's software analyzed threats, suggesting evasive paths. Detection range dropped dramatically from 250 km for an F-16 to perhaps 35 km for F-35. At that point, the jet is already dropping precision munitions like GBU-31 JDAMs, guided by GPS and inertials, accurate to meters. But technology alone isn't enough. Pilots undergo rigorous training, simulating S-400 lock-ons in virtual environments. One declassified report notes Israeli F-35s flew 20 sorties in Syrian airspace by mid-2018, all undetected. This isn't hype. It has proven in exercises like Red Flag, where F-35s kill dozens of simulated enemies before being seen. As we move to the strike reconstruction, picture this. A jet worth $80 million versus a $500 million defense network. Who wins? Let us reconstruct the strike step by step, based on available intel and simulations. It has May 22, 2018, around midnight, at Nevatim Air Base in southern Israel. Two F-35I adheres taxi to the runway. Pilots, let us call them Ghost 1 and Ghost 2 for anonymity, run final checks. Their mission: hit Iranian Quds Force warehouses near Hama and Damascus, stocked with Fajr 5 rockets and Fateh 110 missiles destined for Hezbollah. Takeoff is smooth. Afterburners lighting the desert night, climbing to 30 feet. They head north over the Mediterranean, skirting Lebanese airspace to avoid detection. As they approach Syria, the APG-81 radars ping threats. S-400 at Khmeimim Air Base, S-300 near Masyaf, Panzer Point defenses. The U-suite activates jamming low-frequency bands, creating digital noise that masks their approach. Now, the critical phase, penetration. S-400's Big Bird radar sweeps in 360 degrees, but the F-35's radar cross-section is tiny, about the size of a golf ball. Faint echoes appear on Russian screens, but they are dismissed as clutter or decoys. Ghost 1 locks onto the target, a bunker complex 50 km from Damascus. From 20 km out, it releases two JDAMs, each 2 0-pound bomb glide silently, GPS steering them to impact. Explosions erupt, destroying millions in Iranian hardware. Meanwhile, Syrian radars scramble MiG-29s from nearby bases, but it is futile. The F-35s, with sensor fusion displaying all threats on helmet visors, evade effortlessly. No missiles launched. Russia holds back, perhaps to avoid NATO escalation. The jets bank west, crossing back into Israeli airspace undetected. Mission time, under 90 minutes. No losses. Israel announces the strikes vaguely, but IF Chief Amikem Norkin later boasts, the Adir is flying all over the Middle East. This wasn't luck. It was superior tech and tactics. But questions remain. Did Russia really not see them? The big question: was the F-35 truly invisible? Or did politics play a role? Post-strike, Russian media claimed S-400 tracked the jets but chose not to engage. "Our systems saw everything," said a Kremlin spokesperson. But de-escalation was priority. Skeptics point to S-400's multi-band radars. VF can spot stealth better than X-band. Yet, experts like those at the RAND Corporation argue the F-35's design counters this. Its shape scatters low-frequency waves, and disrupts tracking. Declassified Israeli reports confirm over 100 F-35 sorties in Syria by 2020, with 0 intercepts. One incident, in September 2018, after an Israeli strike, Russia blamed Israel for a downed Il-20 plane hit by Syrian S-200. But even then, S-400 didn't fire at F-35s. Why? Geopolitics. Russia needs Assad but avoids direct clash with Israel, which has struck Russian convoys before. Plus, exposing S-400 limits against stealth could hurt exports. India paid $5.4 billion for systems, expecting anti-F-35 capability. US tests back this. In 2019 red flag exercises, F-35s evaded simulated S-400 S-90 of the time. A 2021 MIT study modeled the matchup. At optimal ranges, S-400 detection drops to 40 km for F-35, giving ample escape time. Iranian officials admitted losses but downplayed, calling it Zionist aggression. For pilots, it was tense. "You feel the radars probing," one anonymous EF veteran said, "but trust the jet." This strike exposed S-400 vulnerabilities, sparking upgrades like the S-500 Prometheus. But for now, stealth reigns supreme. The Syria strike's ripples extended far beyond the explosions. For Israel, it was a triumph. Over 200 Iranian targets hit in 2018-2020, crippling Tehran's proxy network. Hezbollah's missile arsenal stalled, buying time for diplomacy. The F-35I fleet grew to 75 by 2026, integrated with Iron Dome for hybrid threats. Russia faced embarrassment. S-400 sales continued, but doubts grew. Turkey, despite buying S-400, was kicked from the F-35 program in 2019 over fears of tech leaks. India hesitated on more purchases, opting for indigenous systems. China, with AQ-9 clones, accelerated anti-stealth RD. The US vindication for the F-35. Despite early bug software glitches, cost overruns, combat success silenced critics. By 2026, over 1.0 F-35s delivered worldwide, with exports to Finland, Switzerland. Geopolitically, it heightened tensions. Iran vowed revenge, leading to 2020 strikes on US bases. Russia upgraded Syrian defenses, supplying S-300 to Assad. But the strike proved deterrence works. No major escalation. Economically, Lockheed's stock surged. The program created 250 jobs. For air forces, it shifted doctrines. Focus on networks over sheer firepower. As one analyst put it, S-400 is great against F-16s, but against ghosts, not so much. This event marked the stealth era's dominance, influencing conflicts from Ukraine to Taiwan. What lessons does this strike teach us about modern warfare? First, stealth isn't invincible, but it has a massive edge. S-400's strength lies in integration paired with fighters, but isolated. It is vulnerable. The F-35 excels in sensor fusion, fusing data from satellites, AWACS, ground radars into one picture, allowing strikes without detection. Second, electronic warfare is king. Future battles will be about jamming spectra, not just missiles. Russia's experience led to S-500, claiming hypersonic intercepts and better anti-stealth. But F-35 upgrades block for by 2027, AI for autonomous evasion, new engines for longer range. Third, human factor. Pilots' decisions matter. In Syria, Israeli crews trusted tech but relied on training. US doctrine emphasizes kill chains find, fix, finish shortened by stealth. Looking ahead, this shapes global arms races. China tests J-20 versus S-400 analogs. US develops NGAD 6th-gen jets. For smaller nations, it asks a wake-up. Invest in networks, not standalone systems. Ethically, stealth raises questions, strikes without warning blur lines between defense and aggression. As conflicts evolve with drones like in Ukraine 2026, the F-35 S-400 clash reminds, technology wins wars, but strategy seals them. We've uncovered the Untold Syria strike where the F-35 Lightning E turned the mighty S-400 into a spectator. From the tense takeoff to the silent getaway, this mission showcased how stealth redefines air power. It asks not just about machines, it asks about innovation, courage, and the relentless pursuit of superiority in the skies. If this story hooked you, imagine what else US air power has in store. We've got tales of F-22 Raptors vanishing in exercises, A-10 Warthogs shredding tanks, and forgotten Vietnam dogfights. Which one do you want next? A showdown between F-22 and Su-57, or the epic survival of an F-15 with one wing? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Your input shapes the channel. Don't forget to smash that like button if stealth tech blew your mind. And subscribe to US Air Power Stories for more gripping aviation histories. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a strike. Thanks for watching, stay airborne, and see you in the next video. Fly safe.